Hello to all my sports card collectors and investor friends. Thanks for joining us again for another video. Today I'm going to be talking about a guy that took the league by storm over the last couple years, the NFL by storm, Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is probably the hottest quarterback at this time in the league. I mean, I believe he's the reigning Super Bowl MVP. I think he did get the MVP after the Super Bowl. So this guy's on top of the world. I mean, and we all kind of saw this coming last year when the Chiefs almost knocked off the Patriots. If it wasn't for a couple of last-second calls there at the end, I mean, the Chiefs could have been playing in the Super Bowl last year. This guy can do it all. He can throw from every angle. I mean, he's starting to be able to read defenses really well. If you're looking at a long-term investment QB in the NFL right now, I can't really argue against Patrick Mahomes as being that number one guy of, hey, if I'm looking into, an investment opportunity, who's going to be there 5 years, 10 years, maybe 15 years down the road as a franchise QB that's successful? It's got to be Patrick Mahomes. I mean, outside of a career-ending injury, something horrific, he's the guy. I think that we expect him to have multiple Super Bowl wins after this first one. You never know. I mean, he might never make it back, but they just look promising. I mean, the sky is the limit for the Chiefs at this point. So today what I'm doing is, and I did a couple of other basketball videos like this on Luka Doncic yesterday, but I want to focus around Patrick Mahomes rookie cards. He's the most popular new prospect as far as NFL rookie cards go, and so for him, I mean, outside of Lamar Jackson last year, he was the one that really made all the strides as far as his pricing goes. I would say he and Lamar Jackson were the ones that shot through the roof consistently and stayed there. And so, with Mahomes, we're going to look at approximately 15 cards. I think I've got 13, 14 cards here that are rookie cards that you want to keep an eye out for. I'm going to include eBay sold listing examples, and then the current PSA Pop report, so you can effectively kind of look at these cards as which ones you would want to target. This is kind of for people that might just be getting into Patrick Mahomes and thinking like, all right, where do I even start? There's so many different rookie cards to look at. And this is all PSA 10s that we're looking at as far as comparisons go and numbers go. So I want this to be kind of a starting point, a reference guide for those people that are looking to either add to their Patrick Mahomes rookie card collection, or they're just getting started and, okay, I've got, X amount of dollars to spend on Mahomes. Where do I want to allocate those resources? Let's go ahead and get started, guys. My first card is a popular one of his. I wish that I had one, frankly, but it's a 2017 Optic Holo PSA 10 rookie card. And this one, not cheap by any stretch. I've got a recent sold listing at $999. I believe it was a best offer on April 17th, so very recent, yesterday or the day before. PSA pop count for a 10 stands at 380, which kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought that there was actually less of these at a PSA 10. Just for that price. I mean, for $1,000, with there being 380 of them out there, I didn't think that it would be quite that high, but he's coming off a Super Bowl victory, so there you go. And it's a cool card. I mean, these Optic Holos are awesome, and you're seeing that across multiple sports, whether it be basketball or football. Next up, have the 2017 Optic Base rookie card. Common card, and this one recently, I found one that's sold on eBay for $500 on April 15th. Now the PSA count on this one is certainly higher because it's the base, it's not the holo. There's 1,605 PSA 10s of this card out there right now. So it is fairly widely available. This is a popular rookie card of his. It's easily tradable, kind of like the Prizm, the silver Prizm and the base. Although in this year, in 2017, they didn't have a Prizm base. It was just the silver. So, but anyway, we'll dig into that later. Next up, found a one that's a little bit more rare. This one is a variant. It's the Optic, the Rookies edition, and this is the blue, numbered out of 149. Found one of these that sold on April 15th for $640. which I thought that was actually a bargain price, just considering as far as PSA 10s go, there are 22 out there right now. So, I mean, if you're going to spend $500 on a base Optic PSA 10, to me, I mean, I'd probably rather spend $640 and get one of those variants, you know, the blue that's numbered out of 149, and there's only 149 of them, and then 22 of them are PSA 10s at this point. So, you know, that was an interesting find, and that's kind of why I do these videos, so I can compare and contrast the more common ones compared to some of the more rare ones and where the pricing is. Next, we've got the 2017 Prizm Silver Prizm, and this is the popular one. This is the one that everyone is kind of hunting for. It's the PSA 10, and I did a video on, you know, Luka Doncic. It's very similar, and the pricing is very similar, frankly. Patrick Mahomes, a recent sale on April 13th at $1,695. PSA 10 pop report for this one, however, compared to a Luka card, 771. So currently not as many of these. This card is interesting. There is something to look out for when you're buying raw cards of these. I've owned a few of the raw ones. I still have one or two left, I believe. But there is a dimple coming off of his right shoulder that is a printing defect on the Silver Prizm. And it typically always means that it's going to be a PSA 9. It's going to knock it down to a 9. Now, if you have corners and other things that are issues, that can knock it down more. But something just to keep an eye out for when you're looking at raw is that dimple that comes off. I believe it's his right shoulder on the card. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And a lot of people will put that in their listing when they're selling this card, a raw one. So with that printing defect in mind, PSA 10s they're tougher to find. And so this card, I think, even at $16.95, I feel like that's a really good value. Next, we've got the 2017 Select Silver Prizm. This is a really cool card. One I've been trying to snag and just haven't been able to. Just haven't found the right price for it. There's one, and they're just not common, honestly. So there's one that sold on April 13th for $728.89. The PSA 10 pop report for this one is at 73. You will see the base one, which I'm going to talk about next, is definitely more common. But if you can find, if you can find this card, this Select Silver Prizm anywhere, $500-600, snag it up. That is a great value in my opinion for this card. And then next we've got the base card of this one. So I was just talking about the Silver Prizm. This is the Panini Select Base rookie card. There's a recent sale on this one, and there's a few sales kind of ranging in that $350 to $375 range. I saw one April 17th at $374.95. The PSA 10 pop report is $272 for this one, so they are more available. This is a good card, I think. It's, you know, there's not 2,000 of them out there at PSA 10. I mean, it's a good value if you like Mahomes. You know, long term, if these kind of fall a little bit down to the 300, you know, high twos, all day. I love that card. Next is another one, kind of a little bit of a variant, the 2017 Prizm Illumination rookie card. This one, I found a sale on April 15th recently at $300, and the PSA 10 pop report count sits right now at 330 for this card. Next is the 2017 Optic Gridiron Kings, and this one, interesting card. There's not lots of these at PSA 10 right now. There's the report shows 149, and a recent sale April 14th is at $157.50. So again, you know, these are definitely out there, especially raw, but finding a PSA 10, there's 149 listed, so there's not loads of these. Now, granted, there's probably more PSA sitting there coming back, and that number will go up, but still a really good value at $150 roughly. I just, you know, feel like that's a good value if you're looking for, you know, if you don't have $500 to spend on a card, that's a great kind of, you know, lower to mid-range card, very affordable. Another popular one, the 2017 Donruss The Elite Series. I love the look of this card. I own one of these. And in PSA 10, you've got pop report at $279. You've got a recent sale of April 14th at $228.50. So again, affordable. They're out there, and I feel like another good value for Mahomes, and it's just a cool looking card too. All right, going back to the Optic set, and this one is a more rare card in that set. I would really love to have one of these. I've said this in my other videos. If anyone wants to throw me one, I wouldn't be mad at you at all. This is such a cool looking card. It's the 2017 Optic Lime. It's the lime color Optic. PSA 10 pop count sits at 90 of these, and one recently sold at $560.01 on April 14th. Just a sweet looking card, and I love all of these optics, but this one is just a cool color. I love that lime green. Next we have a 2017 Crown Royale, not as common of a card that you'll find. On April 13th, one sold for $299. The PSA Pop report on this one for a 10 sits at 96, so there's not loads of these out there. Another cool looking card. If you like that Crown Royale, and you see these also on the basketball side, but those are cards that, they might not be as popular as the Prizm product, but there is some more scarcity. You don't see as many of them out there, and they're just a cool card. So, I mean, if you believe in that player, like I do with Mahomes, and like a lot of people do with Mahomes, I mean, long term, I think that's just a great value at $299 for a PSA 10. Next is one that you see quite a bit raw. There's not loads of these. It's an Optic pink Prizm. I like the pink Prizms, the look of them. They're cool looking. The PSA 10 will run you about $450 to $500. I saw one on April 13th sold for $475. They are a little bit more available, but still, I mean, PSA Pop 10 report for this one sits at $267. So, yes, they are out there, but not loads of these out there, guys. So, I mean, we're always, preaching on pop reports and scarcity. For considering this is Mahomes, this is basically the face of the NFL. There's just not a lot of these out there. So, I mean, if you're looking at just value, yeah, the prices are a little high, but I mean, this is the hottest player in the NFL. I mean, they should be fairly high. He's coming off a Super Bowl win. So to me, I mean, these are excellent values. Last but not least, I just threw in a rare one that I had found, and this is the 2017 Panini Origins rookie autographs, and this is one where I believe there's only 14 of these at PSA 10, if I have that right. One sold on April 7th for $1,888. But again, I mean, if you're comparing this across sports to LeBron James, Luka Doncic, or what those are going for, I mean, again, this is value stuff. So if you're trying to kind of diversify a little bit, Pat Mahomes Panini Origin rookie autograph at under $2,000, to me, I mean, that could be a $10,000 card or higher potentially down the road. I mean, if he keeps on doing his thing, wins a few Super Bowls, I mean, that card is going up in my opinion. So anyway, guys, thanks for sticking with me through this video. Mahomes, I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm a diehard New Orleans Saints fan, but I was pulling for them this past year because I thought they were really deserving. But Pat Mahomes, if you're looking at NFL investments, football card investments, hard to argue against Mahomes. So hopefully this list helps you. I'm going to do more of these. Feel free to comment below if you have any suggestions, or if there's other videos you want to see. Please subscribe so that you see all of the new videos coming out. And we will see you guys next time. Appreciate you stopping by.